Ladies and gents, welcome back to another video, and in today's video we're going to be jumping into the price of Bitcoin and discussing whether the dump is over, because we have been seeing a push from this 100 SMA that like at 1 a.m. this morning I've been mentioning in the Telegram community that if Bitcoin does see a push from this 100 SMA, we could be going into the region between $40.75 and $42,000 in the short term, and so far that's what we've been following. Do we have more upside to go? Potentially, yes, since we have liquidity build up at $42,000, but I'll get into that and much more in today's video. Make sure to watch until the end, smash up the like button, and if you are looking for joining into this Telegram community, it's actually completely for free. It's something I offer when I can't actually make a physical update in that moment in time, and you can join by going to the description below and checking out this link, and yeah, it should be done. So let's go into the price of Bitcoin and kind of see what we can do in the upcoming hours and days. So yes, we did see this bounce from this 100 SMA, but is it going to hold for long? We're trading at a very critical level of resistance, $41,200. We're right now at 41.3, so just above it. It's all going to depend on the candle close today. If we close like this and the next candle is indicating a reversal, then the pump is over. But if not, and we want to head higher, then 42K is where I'm looking at next due to the liquidity buildup. I think we have $600 million worth of liquidity. Yeah, somewhere there. Yeah, $597 million right now piled in $42,000. And Bitcoin usually wants to take and grab that liquidity. That's how the markets work. So that's what I'm looking out for next. But after seeing 42K potentially or reversing from where we are right now, I think, yeah, a reversal is due since the overall sentiment on the macro isn't the greatest. There is still a chance that Bitcoin comes back up to 42.7K, and I'm not disregarding that option. It would actually be super healthy since we would be retesting the support line that Bitcoin managed to hold until October and broke down from very recently. And if we do see a retest back up, that would give us a confirmation of a further drop back down. In terms of trades, I've not taken any. I've only have buy orders sitting at the range between 31 and 37.9, although I do believe that well, 34 to 37.9 is more realistic. And for those targets, you can check back on the previous video. I have exactly where I'm buying Bitcoin, etc. On the monthly time frame, it is still a shooting star candle, and the bull and bear market support bands could be still seen going into February. But as we get closer towards the halving, I get even more and more bullish, because after the halving, Bitcoin tends to see a massive bullish run. Something to be careful of also is the MACD bearish crossover that could get triggered by the close of this or next week's candle. And the last time we saw a bearish crossover after such high momentum was in the previous top of the bull market in 2021, and Bitcoin experienced a over 70% drop following this bearish crossover. So again, I would be very careful with what I'm doing here. So no, actually 67%, not as bad. Going over into the breaking news that we have with the ETFs, which have been a significant factor into this short-term pump that we've been seeing. The total outflows from GBTC are not too bad these past couple of days, but it's crazy. From like $27 billion worth of assets on the ETF launch, we've dropped by already $7 billion. It's crazy how much outflows that we've been seeing from GBTC already. But the common misconception is these outflows don't really impact the market. The only thing that impacts the market is the speculation that people get from these outflows. But actually, these outflows are just OTC deals between the exchange and Grayscale and any of these Bitcoin issuers, spot ETF issuers. It doesn't really impact the immediate spot market. So don't worry. I mean, we will see more outflows most likely. And according to this chart here, if I can find it, which one it's on, we've already kind of lost 15%, and I've given away the whole video here. Yikes, there we go. So we've already lost 15% of the total holdings in the last 7 days, according to the CEO of CryptoQuant. And if this trend continues, it's projected to reach zero by mid-March, and that would be super bullish since we'll have no selling pressure left. And then until the halving, we have a full clear parabolic uptrend head start to, yeah, just start things off and go back to the previous all-time high. In terms of the total volume, though, the ETFs look extremely bullish. I mean, people are missing out on this. Nate Garassi over on X posted that out of 600 plus ETFs which launched since the beginning of 2023, IBIT is in now the top 3 based off of current assets held and will likely be number 1 by next week, since it's super likely that IBIT will hold over $2 billion in Bitcoin going into Monday. And that would basically break records. I mean, it's just looking super bullish. We need to focus in the macro, like I always say. In the macro, Bitcoin and the ETFs should be doing very well. And guess what? Google announced that they will allow advertising for the Bitcoin spot ETF starting January 29th. So if you do see any advertisements of the spot ETFs while you're watching a YouTube video, make sure to watch it until the end. So these guys have more money to spend on more advertising, and that will hopefully translate into higher Bitcoin prices. But JP Morgan, very interestingly, said that they expect the GBTC outflows to stop and slow down. This is super bullish. And I know JP Morgan are very bipolar with their views on Bitcoin. One day they're saying it's going to go to zero. One day they call it a pet rock. And another day they start to do market making for a lot of the big ETFs. Anyways, I do think they still have a lot of data and insights because of that reason. And according to them, they've been expecting this outflows from GBTC, and we're currently 3/4 of the way. The exact quotation is that GBTC profit taking has largely happened already. In turn, this would imply that most of the downward pressure on Bitcoin from that channel should be largely left behind us. So pretty bullish from JP Morgan's aspect. We do have a delay in the Ethereum spot ETF from Grayscale and BlackRock, and the date that we are looking out for is the 23rd of May. I mean, we have to look out for the case between the SEC and Binance, and SEC and Coinbase. Those cases should finalize between the next 1 to 5 weeks. And according to what we see there, we'll be able to tell if Ethereum will be a security or not. But from my perspective, because they offer on-chain staking and they promote that a lot, it will not be a commodity like Bitcoin. And that wouldn't classify it to get a green light for the ETF approval. That's what I personally think. Of course, nothing in this video is financial advice, or it's just my personal takes on what can happen to the markets. Always do your own due diligence before trading or investing. But there is another piece of incredibly bullish news with Bitwise, and they have been the first ETF issuer period to actually publicize their total underlying assets for Bitcoin in this case. And it's pretty crazy. I mean, it would be awesome if every other issuer does that too, so we have full transparency on how much they hold. Because yeah, we can go into the website of BlackRock and see they have $1.9 million in holdings, but where's the proof? Whereas in Bitwise's case, we actually have the proof. So that's good. And think about it this way. Like we have over here, Darren from X, he mentions that there's $11 trillion in physical gold, chasing $250 trillion in paper gold because there is no transparency to the asset. So yes, we have the GLD spot ETF, we have all these other ETFs, but where is the underlying asset? We have no proof that that actually exists. So Bitwise is kind of the first frontier in this, and I think blockchain technology could see a lot of adoption. Like Larry Fink said a couple of weeks ago, he believes that a lot of financial products will be put on the blockchain via tokenization. And what will also push this is, off topic, Gary Vee mentioned that AI will need the blockchain. And I'm not going to play the full video. He said that in summary, because the emergence of deepfakes is now surging, right, with especially the presidential elections, the only way to verify if a video is real or not on the internet is going to be via the blockchain. So any project kind of supporting the development of this, I think will do very well going into the next bull market. And speaking of projects, the altcoin market has rebounded completely since the last video. So amazing. The entire altcoin market it appears to be doing very well. But yeah, I mean, it's just, I can't believe it's been only 10 trading days since the Bitcoin spot ETF's launch. It feels like 7 years or 10 years. It's been like a 6-month process leading up to it anyways. And now we have the aftermath. But Jim Cramer being Jim Cramer, he mentioned just a couple of hours ago that it's another chance to roll out of Bitcoin while the number Go Up Club tries to keep it at $40,000. And guess what? Just after a few hours later, Bitcoin bounces from 40K to now 41.2. And honestly speaking, if an ETF that was literally for the inverse Cramer ETF existed, I would put all of my portfolio into it and then eventually funnel it back into Bitcoin. Like that would be the perfect trading money hack ever. Something to watch out for is the 38.1K level, because if Bitcoin breaks below that, a lot of the short-term holders will become unprofitable, and that may trigger a lot of panic selling. So watch out for that. If Bitcoin breaks below 38.1, we could go into the lower territories, hitting the targets for dollar cost averaging, like we mentioned, but that would be favorable. And finally, Tesla announces that they still haven't sold any of their Bitcoin in Q4 of 2023. I believe they still hold $450 million in Bitcoin. That's good. They've not bought any, they've not sold any. I think the next surge of Elon Musk drama in the Bitcoin crypto space will come when X introduces payments on the platform. And the speculation is it will be Dogecoin or cryptocurrencies or a cryptocurrency. But ladies and gents, thank you so much for watching the video. I need to catch a flight in a couple of hours, so I'll see you in Japan, hopefully. Thank you so much for watching. And yeah, I'll see you very soon. Bye-bye, guys.